our life. And some of the things that we have been dealing with, January we spoke about how to start the year very well. Then we went into relationship in February, and this month we are dealing with the past, because your past can eat your future alive. Your past can eat your present alive. So it's very, very important to know where to put our past, so that whatever God has promised us this 2020, we will be able to see. I wrote here that life is a journey, and you have to make some effort to enjoy that journey and moving forward. But if you are going to enjoy your life as a journey, then you have to forget your past. And that's why I'm here this afternoon, and we're going to look at it. So I have a very, very wonderful privilege today that one of my friends are joining me for us to look at how to let go of your past. So Facebook family, let's welcome Dr. Sims, and I would like her to introduce herself, okay? So let's welcome Dr. Sims. Dr. Sims, you are welcome to Woman of Influence. Thank you so much for coming. I know you are a very, very busy woman of God, so for you to drop everything to come to the show, I'm very, very grateful. I don't take it for granted. Thank you so much. Can you please introduce yourself to our viewers this afternoon?
Yes, I'm Dr. Sherry Sims. I attend World Shakers International Church. I am an international woman of God.
Amen.
I'm glad to be here with my friend, Lady Reverend B.
Yes.
I'm so excited about the topic.
Yes.
Letting go of the past.
I know.
So I'm excited and ready to get this started.
Amen, amen. Thank you so, so much once again. Please continue to share the video with somebody. Tag somebody to come in. Let it be a blessing. Okay, we all have past. We all have past. And I wrote here that it's without a doubt that you cannot make any forward movement. You cannot make any progress in life if you continue to look back into your past. When I was driving here. You see, the reason why God even wants us to forget about our past is even when you look at your car, you see that the rear mirror is very, very small, but the windscreen is big, because God wants us to always go forward. Okay, so we are going to look at some of the things that we can do to really let go of our past and see what God have to do in our life. But woman of God, when I was putting this show together, I thought about you because I have a lot of conversation with you. And I know you've been through a lot.
Yes.
Okay, you've been through a lot. And sometimes where you've been,
Yes.
we cannot even define it as where God is taking you now, and how you have been able to come out from pain and everything. But people see you, and if you don't tell them what you have been through, nobody will even know what you have been through.
Yes.
So I saw it as fit for you to be here to talk about some of the things that we can do,
Yes.
okay, to let go of our past. But before we start that, I want you to, in your own life experience and the things that you've been through,
Yes.
what really helped you to come out from those challenges to be the woman of God you are now?
Actually, I thank God, my mom, she's gone on with the Lord, but I was raised up in church where you had to fast and pray
Okay.
and shut in. And I never forgot that.
Okay.
And so no matter what I went through, I remember God is the answer, and
Okay.
prayer is the key.
Wow.
And I had to pray myself. I wanted to stay my state of mind.
Okay.
So I had to pray. My state of mind is what kept me. Even when my children was little and they would go to bed, they would wake up, I would be praying. They would go to sleep, I would be praying. They'd wake back up in the morning, I'm still in that same spot.
Wow.
I refused to be moved because I was determined to be delivered. I was determined to be free. I was determined to be normal. I was determined to live through it all.
Okay.
And I had to fight, though. I had to put the work in. It wasn't hard work. It was easy work. It was more like studying the word and
Okay.
staying on my knees. The only way through it, I had to study and stay on my knees. And
Wow.
I couldn't be knocked off that post for nothing.
Okay.
And I had to be authentic with the Lord.
Wow.
Because I needed
So
him.
you are trying to say that you were able to overcome all your past issue and your challenges through prayer and your connectivity with God
Yes, but
Wow.
it didn't happen overnight.
overnight. Okay.
No, it didn't happen
Okay.
overnight.
Mhm.
It took time. See, we so impatient.
Okay.
But I had to be willing. I started reading the scripture on patience, how to endure patience, because you have to be patient with God. It's going to happen, but you got to be steadfast and unmovable. And you have to be patient, and you have to, be determined. And I was determined. I had a determined mind that I'm coming out of this. I'm not going to let the statistics say that I have to be out my mind, or I have to be in a nut house, and I can't get through this.
Through
I was
this.
determined that I was going to get through it with God on my side, because I read the word, and it said,
Okay.
if you trust God, He'll bring you through.
True.
And I trust God in all the way.
All the way.
I had to be, my pastor preached yesterday, all in. I
Oh.
had to be all in.
Wow. Okay. So please, if you are watching us, thank you so much for joining us. Please, can you do me a favor? Share the video. Share the video. I know that today's show is going to bless you. So tag a friend to come in. We all have past, okay? We all have issues that, I've met a lot of people who says that, oh, when I was in kindergarten, my teacher told me this, and they are in their 40s, and they are still carrying it. I've met a lot of people, what their mother, their aunties told them, they are still holding it. How can we let our past go and see what God said we will see? In Jeremiah 29, verse 11, which is very, very popular, the book of Jeremiah 29, verse 11, it says that, for I, that is God himself speaking, know the thought that I think towards you, says the Lord, thought of peace and not for evil, and to give you a future and a hope. You see, a future and a hope. Our future is always forward, not in the past. There is no future in the past. So even God dealing with us is looking at our future and what he can do in our future, not in our past. So when we keep on sitting in our past, we won't see what God said we will see. And that's exactly what the woman of God did. Standing on God's word, praying and coming out from whatever she went through because of the word of God. So it's very, very important. But woman of God, so I know we prayed. I know sometimes we confess the word. And I said it just right now. I've met a lot of people, especially in church, okay, who are in their 40s. And they are still saying that, okay, I have been raped, which is a very life-threatening thing. My husband used to beat me. My mother used to say my nose is big, my head is big. So they still are holding on those words. And as powerful and as anointed as they are holding on to the pain, aspect, the painful aspect, and the negativity of the words. So how can we let go of those painful past experience?
Well, see, first they have to get the thought in their mind, I would not let my past paralyze my future.
Wow,
and
that's
reason
good.
why they're holding on, hurt people.
Wow.
And because they've been hurt, and they don't know nothing but hurt, and they have not, it's easy, it's simple. The Bible says that you overcome by the words of your testimony.
Okay.
But people are taught to keep these testimonies hidden because you don't want people to get an ideal about you, or you don't want them to know that this happened to you because they would judge you. And because of that, all your hidden secrets is consuming you. And you have to let go of that. You have to be willing to tell it. You have to let your pastors know, I have a testimony. Don't just sit back there and know that somebody talking about they've been raped and don't admit you've been raped.
Okay.
I mean, they've been there, done that. I mean, hey, I was kidnapped by a pimp at the age of 16.
Oh,
Raped
my
out
God.
over 100 times. Missing from my family for 2 weeks. And then the police officer got me, he strangled me to death after he raped me. I ran door to door butt naked. But you know, I'm here today.
This woman has been through a lot. so all the things that you just said, you've been through it?
Not only that I've been through, I lived it. This is real life.
Oh,
and then
my
not only
God.
that, got home, thought I could keep a secret for years, so spent my life in hospitals, paramedic, every day of my life for years.
Wow.
And then it got even deeper. Didn't get no help. See, I was a hurt person that wanted to hurt people. So I
Okay.
thought every man should be punished
Wow.
for what happened to me because I thought I could keep a secret. So I advise you, if you got a secret, if something happened to you, tell it. I had to spend all my life dealing with a secret. Dropped out of school at 16, dealing with a secret. Decided I wasn't going to tell my parents or nobody what happened. Decided I could do it because the devil told me I could do this. But
Okay.
really, it was killing me. It was consuming me and hurt people, and I wanted to see people hurt. But one day, I got on my knees,
Okay.
and I began to pray to God. And I began to ask God to give me my mind. And Lord, let me not live this. Let me be normal. Let me be like all the other young women. Let me, I had to realize I was the victim.
Okay. Yes.
So hurt people. And God brought me through it. I graduated high school at 46. I
Wow.
graduated with a doctorate degree in 2011.
Wow.
I graduated as an educator in 2011. I was the valedictorian. I am somebody in Christ Jesus.
Amen. Woman of God, I want us to take our time and break it down right here. Okay. So you growing up, you were raped and you have to drop out of school at 16. But it didn't stop you. You were able to go back to school and get your high school diploma at 46. It didn't stop you. You went ahead, moving forward with the help of God and with what God had put in you. You went ahead, going back to get your doctorate, going back to get your educational, because, I mean, your doctor is really educational doctorate, so it's not like an honorary doctorate. But I want us to break it down here. So your past didn't stop you. You didn't sit there crying, oh, God, why me? Why did somebody have to rape me? Why didn't my family come and rescue me? What did my mother said? But you took all those pain to God.
Yeah, but I did
Okay.
talk to God like that.
You
said,
talk to God
I
like
said,
that.
Why me?
Okay.
Why me? But God talked back to you. If you talk to God, he'll talk back to you. He
Okay.
said, why not you?
Why not you? So are you saying God have a purpose of that?
Yes, it
In
was
that-
purpose behind it. Today I live
Oh.
in that purpose. Why not you? He had, look at all the trafficking out here. He prepared me for this. He
that.
prepared me for this day to let you know no matter what you go through, you're going to be able to pursue and you're going to be able to have purpose and you still going to be able to make it through it, but you got to pray and you got to trust God and you're normal and you don't have to be the victim. I don't feel no different from nobody else. When people ask me, how long was you a virgin? I said, I was a virgin until I was 18. I was. See, what somebody do to me don't define me.
Okay.
I learned that through Christ, but I gave it all over to God. I was willing to finally let go. I told my parents what happened to me finally, and the hospital visits was over. And then that was the beginning of a fresh start for me. When you're able to testify, you overcome.
Okay.
Me telling what happened, me not being afraid. So what you're a pastor, so what you're anointed, so what you're a missionary evangelist. Tell your testimony for somebody else could be free. And as I began to tell the testimony, God began to show me, I found out I love school.
Wow.
I found out, you
could go back and
I
do-
want to go back again.
Wow.
After all the
Awesome.
years ago.
Awesome. Please, if you are watching us, thank you so much for joining us. I'm talking with my own girlfriend, Dr. Sims, and we are talking about how to let go of your past. And I'm telling you, I've known this woman for what, 3 years? Going to 4 years we've been, and we've spoken, and some of the things that this woman have told me she went through, and seeing what God is doing in her life, me, myself, I really know she's a woman of influence because she doesn't let her past tell her where she can go and where she cannot go. But woman of God, when you were talking, it came in mind. The Bible says that all things work together for our good, okay? Sometimes the bad the ugly, and everything. It's like a cake. Everything have to mix together for us to get a perfect cake. So how were you able to see a purpose in your pain?
I found my purpose in prison.
Okay. Wow.
You know, I didn't tell you that. But because I wouldn't get help, I got into a relationship.
Okay.
And he was very abusive.
Okay.
And I ran and I got away for a couple of years. He found me.
Okay.
And he determined he was coming to kill me. He was going to kill me. At that time, I had kids.
Oh,
so I
my
took
God.
my kids and I told them, go in the room, go under the bed. And I had a sawed-off shotgun, and I was determined to protect myself.
So, yeah.
Because I had got free. I had started overcoming what I had been through, and I wasn't scared no more. But I ended up shooting this guy.
Oh, my
God.
God.
To jail. Because I was determined I ain't going to be that woman to get beat on.
Okay.
Now, you know, I'm whole again. Now I'm in my right mind again. I found my mind back through prayer. And when I got to jail, make a long story short, the judge had freed me the next day, but nobody knew because by mistake they had took me to jail. Well, while I was there, I started a choir. I started the first choir in the House of Correction in Wisconsin.
Wow.
Then I was the minister for the women that was in the jail. So I got women away from their pimps, away from their thing. I began to do my ministry in prison.
Wow.
But I was trained when I was a child how to pray and how to go forward. What my mother trained me, what I learned in my home church, I had it going on there. So when my sister wrote the judge to ask him where was my sister, when was she getting a court date, he said, what are you talking about? She was free to go the next day. So by mistake, but that was the best mistake that could have happened. At the age of 23, I walked out of prison.
Wow.
And I was saved. I'm 40, I'm 40. I'm 50, how old am I, 57?
Yeah.
See, when God so good to you, I can't even remember.
You are so young, we don't even care about how old you are.
Remember. But at the end of the day, I walked out of there and I never turned back. I told my girlfriends, because nobody came to see me.
Okay.
So when I got out, they said, oh, we all ready, we brought you. I said, y'all ain't got to bring me nothing. I'm on the Lord's side now. I took my babies and I went to church. I caught a bus. I put them on my hip. Sometimes they would fall asleep on me, but I was determined. I beat the pastor of the church. I was determined to live this life that God had for me. And he told me, if you would just trust me and you live this life, you would not have to want for nothing. And I can tell you, God have kept his word with me all the way. I'm 57, going on 58 in October, and God still is blessing me. He still kept his word.
Okay, so I know that there is nothing that we can change or do with our past. Okay, we cannot go into the past and dig, and see, okay, what can I do? But with you, you learn a lesson out of the past. And God help you to become the woman of God you are now. So somebody watching us, what do you have to tell them?
Well, it is something you can change. You can change your mind.
You can change your mind.
You can go ahead today. You still could be whole. And you still could be free. And you don't have to live in the past. And you can stop today if you're still living with breath in your body. You don't have to allow it to paralyze your future. Because you could change your mind. You could realize that I'm going to start telling my testimony so I could be free. Because if not, hurt people. And holding on to a past that's so deep, you will hurt your kids, you be angry with everybody. Everybody. You be angry, and then you look at people and you say, why nothing ever happened to, you don't want to be, it'll make you be, what's that word? You be angry with the whole world.
Yes.
And you want everybody to suffer because you suffer. But you can just, when you take on the light of God, and when you take on Jesus and you go to trust in God, you go to getting that happy spirit back. You go to finding you again. And and just telling the people is you overcome by the words of your testimony. And even you pastors that's watching, do not, I beg you, do not take testimony out of the church.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way, according to the word, the word that you can overcome.
Yeah.
It's people that need to overcome. They might not tell nobody but God. They might not ever tell it. And because of that, they're using it out on their husbands, their children, or either their wives, because, it can happen either way.
Either way.
And through me telling my testimony, I was so blessed that I did decide to tell it, because me telling my testimony, I found out that my own children. See, I'm supported by my family all the way. I found out that a family member of my children's family had violated my 2 kids.
Wow.
So through me telling it, they knew they didn't have to run no more, because I said, you know, they're going to tell you they're going to kill your mom. They're going to tell you they're going to kill your dad. They're going to tell you they're going to do this and do that. And this, I said, it's all lies.
It's all
and
lies.
I was able to let them hear that testimony to make them come forth and tell. So if you tell it, you will overcome. And so the thing that blessed me is I was willing to tell it, I was able to go after help, because it would keep moving if you keep hiding.
So, woman of God, you keep on saying hurt people. And I mean, I'm in ministry, so I have experienced it again and again, that when people are hurting, sometimes you ask yourself, why is this sister behaving like that? It doesn't have anything to do with you, okay? Because they are hurting. And when people are hurting, they go around trying to hurt everybody around them, okay? But how are people going to be healed from the sadness, okay, and the anger that comes with things like this? You understand what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, when somebody rapes you, you are angry. You want to kill that person. You understand? When somebody violates you, when somebody take your money and run, when somebody lie on you, when somebody say things that kills you, you want to get them back, okay? But that is not how our Bible asks us to behave. So how can we be able to forget about the past sadness and the pain and the anger that comes with it?
Well, one of the number one things to help me, woman of God, I had to do much fasting. Because the Bible said that demon had consumed me. I didn't want him killed, because I found him everywhere he went. I didn't want him killed. I promised myself when I get older, I wanted him disfigured.
Wow.
I wanted his fingers off. I wanted his toenails off.
Oh,
I
my
wanted
God.
his private parts off. I'm telling you, I got with the mafia, because I got with a guy in the mafia because he promised me he could make what I wanted to happen. I wanted him to be tied down. I wanted him to feel what I feel.
Pain.
Hurt people. But the way through it is when I got the Bible.
Okay.
The best thing that happened with me was going to jail. Because when I got
your Bible out
God
of
didn't let me out until I picked up the Bible.
Wow.
God spoke to me there, and he said, pick it up. And I said, I ain't going to pick it up. And I tell people, because I wouldn't pick it up, I would get a wisdom. It had to be put. I kept getting abscess. It had to be. And God's word to me, pick up the Bible. I wasn't going to pick it up. And by the time we got to the 5th tooth, I picked it up.
Okay.
And in that word, it said, these kind
come
out. Nothing but by fasting and prayer.
Wow.
What happened to me? See, if 100 men is slept with you, they 100
demons,
spirits are imparted.
That's
in you.
it. That's it.
These kind come out nothing but by fasting and praying. So I became a prayer and a faster. I fast every day. Sometimes I fast for weeks. Sometimes, and I'm a living witness. That came out. Now in my church, I am the demon chaser.
Amen.
I can recognize a demon coming afar off. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because these kind come out nothing but by fasting and praying. You got to fast and you got to pray. That ain't nothing you can just move on your own. That ain't nothing you can blink and say, be gone.
Yeah.
That ain't nothing you can say, oh, my mother prayed for me. No,
you have to do it yourself.
Yes.
You have to do it yourself. Wow. This is powerful. I told you this show is going to be wonderful. Please, if you have questions, your questions are welcome. Please comment. Let Dr. Sims know what she's saying. You love it. You know, if you have any comment, just comment. You know, share the video. Please share the video with somebody. Tell somebody to come in. You know, this is a blessing. You know, these are some of the things I told you. The purpose of the show is the things that we cannot use our Sunday pulpit to preach. That's why we bring it to the show. I cannot come and stand here on Sunday morning and be saying what we are saying. So that's why we do this show, to educate ourselves, okay? Your past can eat your future, I'm telling you. I've met a lot of people. I've seen a lot of people. Your past will eat your future for lunch if you don't deal with it, if you don't handle it well. I've met anointed women of God that are still holding their past. So they are going in circles. Every relationship they enter in doesn't work. Every business they enter in doesn't work. Because why? They are holding on to your past. You cannot go into your future when your past, every step you take is leading you back to your past pain, your past anger, and everything. You cannot do that. Okay, so that's what we are using the show for. Please tag somebody to come in. Thank you so much. We have people watching from all over, from England to America to India to Ghana. I'm so grateful. I can't mention all of you, your names, but you know I love you, woman of influence. It's because of you I'm sitting here. Without you, I cannot have this show. So thank you so much for your support. And please continue to share the video and tag somebody to come in. It's going to be a blessing to them. So woman of God, I was just asking, how are we able to forget, okay, about the pain and the anger? The anger is the main thing, okay? You understand? Like you said, you wanted him to not even die, but you want to do it slowly. This is why we call it slow but sure, because you want to cut his finger, you want to cut his leg. You want him to feel the pain that you are feeling. And, you know, normally that is how it have to go. But as God have called us, and as God have given us purpose, and as God have called us to go and make disciples and do all those things and preach the gospel, we cannot do that, okay? So what do you do to let the anger go?
Well,
What happened?
I had to make up my mind. If I'm going to serve God, I'm going to have to forgive.
Okay.
And I didn't know how that would play out. How would you forgive somebody that did something so bad to you? And him or the police officer was no better. The police officer strangled me to death. I literally died. I woke up butt naked in the car.
Oh, my God.
He had a bag with a knife in his hand, and he was finna disfigure me and leave me in the garage dead. But my eyes opened when the air hit my face, and I jumped up. He was so big, I was able to run for my life. And I ran into somebody's house butt naked. And that still didn't end it. Long story short, there's details in the book about it. That didn't end it.
And the book is coming out, is it? When is the book?
My birthday month.
Your birthday month is when?
Get Up.
Get Up. Okay.
Yes.
So there is a book coming up too. Let's look into the camera. They say we should look into the camera. So when we are talking, you look here, I will look here. Okay. The show is so much, and you know we are friends, so we feel like we are talking to each other, but we are talking to our audience. So let's look into the. Yes, but there's a question that just came right now. So this is yours, this is mine. There's a question that came in that I think is going to be a blessing to somebody. They said that Dr. Sims, there's a question for you.
Okay.
How was you able to keep the secret from being raped? Okay, that is the first one. Look at the second one, because then you can answer. Okay. When people find out that you've been raped, did they blame you? Because a lot of time it's happened.
Well, okay. The first question was what? Once again, the first question you just read.
Yeah.
Is that did they find?
How do you keep the secret? Okay. How were you able to keep the secret?
When I got home.
Yeah.
When I finally made it home, somebody gave me a quarter. I was in the bathroom, and I was able to make a call. And I told my sister, don't ask no questions. I'm going to be running for my life. Just pick me up on this certain street.
Okay.
I talked the pimp into let me make him some money by myself. And you know I'm not going to leave because you killed my parents and all this different stuff.
Yeah.
So he trusted me. And I ran for my life. And I made it home. But when I made it home, it's 7 of us.
Okay.
I have 5 sisters and 1 brother. But when I looked at them, and I wanted to tell so bad, I decided, my father, at the time he was drinking, and he said, look at you. You look like you got on some clothes that, that a prostitute would wear. And I shut down. Immediately, I said, I can't tell.
Okay.
So I didn't tell. And I thought I could keep a secret. Within a week later, my brother and sister went to fighting, and he began to strangle her. Remember, I had got strangled to death. And I started screaming and said, they're killing me, they're killing me. And that was the first paramedic call. From there, for the next 4 years, it was a call to the paramedic. I went to every hospital over 100 times. Every night of my life, a paramedic was called.
So,
And
no,
the
let me come in right there.
secret-
So it means because you wasn't able to bring your secret out, it was tormenting you?
It was tormenting me from the
Okay,
inside.
okay.
I thought I could live with a secret. It was so deep, I forgot I had a secret.
Oh.
So it took me to get in a relationship later on in my life.
Okay.
And he was abusive. And he decided, I got away from him. And he decided, at that time I had 2 kids.
Yeah.
He decided he was gonna kill me one day. So I prepared to kill him. I wasn't scared no more because I never got help for what happened before. I loaded a sawed-off shotgun and I waited on my seat and I told him, if you come in my house, I'm gonna blow you out of here. Well, literally, he didn't come in. I raised up a window to show him I really had a gun.
Yeah.
And he called me a name, but he said the word, I will strangle you. I went back to childhood.
Oh.
And immediately the gun went off. I went blank.
Okay.
And I shot him, and I got arrested that night. Before I shot him, I put my daughters under the bed and told them that mama got to take care of y'all, and I got to cover us, and I got to make sure I protect us. And I can't be running, and I can't be scared. And this is something I have to do for myself. I can't let my brother do it. I can't let nobody do it. I have to do it for
yourself.
myself. And I did it for myself.
Okay.
And not knowing, I didn't plan to, I just planned to protect myself. Not
So,
to,
but you didn't plan to kill. But
no,
you
he said he was going to
okay.
kill me, and I was determined because I was still a hurt person. That
Okay.
I wasn't letting another man hurt me.
Okay.
And so that's where my mind was. But I told him I had a gun, don't come in my house or I will shoot. And he didn't come in. I shot him from a 3-story window. But
You
he's
shot him from there?
yes. But he
Oh,
said,
okay.
but you got to remember, it was the demonicness that was inside. It was the hurt because he said the wrong word. He said, he came up and said, I will strangle you. Remember,
So-
I went back to childhood that never got healed.
You never get healed.
I never got healed from childhood. So I went back to childhood. And because of that, I end up in jail. And even the judge threw it out the next day, but God wanted to help me so much. By mistake, they had took me to jail.
Yeah.
I sat in jail for a year by mistake.
Wow.
I was free to go the next day.
But-
when my sister wrote the judge, he asked him where I was. He asked him, where is she? I let her go the next day. So they freed me immediately. But I came out saved, sanctified, Holy Ghost filled, speaking in tongues,
Oh, good.
preaching and teaching the word of God.
Amen. And I know that out of that, a lot of people have been saved. A lot of people have been delivered. As you said, you are a demon chaser now. But the next question says that when people find out, so when your family or your friends find out, did they blame you for being, you know, sometimes they say that, oh, because maybe you didn't dress well, that's why the men did this, or because you wanted it anyway. You know, people throw those ways. Did anybody blame you?
Well, they couldn't say that because all our life was spent in church.
Okay.
My mom, we grew up in Church of God in Christ, so we had to go to church 3-4 days a week. But
Okay.
what they did do, as they got older, and I would talk about it in, in workshops and stuff, they would, one lady told them, and she said, I might say I see the spirit on you, and they said, like the spirit that was on you. So the devil didn't want me to tell because people was ready to judge me. So I hid it to not be judged.
Okay.
I hid it. But I'm so thankful that I let it out at a young age because I didn't know my kids was being raped. I didn't know my daughter's uncle was raping, and one of them from 2 to 11. I didn't know that. And through
Wow.
me coming forth, I was able to help somebody in my own family. And then I formed a group called Women of Excellence.
Okay.
That's a LLC. And I had 200 women to come out. And through me telling it, they started saying that the kids start coming forth saying their dads had raped them, they this had raped them, and that. And then it went on for like 10 years and went into the international global movement.
Okay.
So the thing is, it's a movement that I dedicate my life to, and I will spend my life doing it. And I
Amen.
believe that's why God brought me through it. And I would go, even when I opened my first company, I would go on the stroll where pimps have their prostitute, and I would get the prostitutes and offer them jobs if they come off the stroll,
Wow.
just to get them away.
Wow. So out of your pain, it has produced a purpose now. Because now you are delivering others, you are employing people, and you are doing a wonderful job.
Right.
Thank God for that.
But what got me help, my family didn't know for years. What got me help is one night I decided I didn't want to live no more.
Oh, no.
I couldn't be consumed with it no more. I had a beautiful, at the time I had a beautiful daughter, one daughter, that's Pastor Lady
Yeah.
Kay, and I didn't want to be consumed no more with it. I didn't want to make my family say it. What my family didn't know is all them years I couldn't swallow because I had been strangled to death. So every day of my life I ate potato chips and drunk Pepsis.
Wow.
And my family saw me sit at the table with them, but they didn't see the bag that I carried to the table. I would spit my food out under the table when nobody was watching. And I did it for years. And then one day I decided I just didn't want to live no more like this. And I put a knife to my chest, and I thought, I'm ready to take my life. I'd be better gone because I'm spoiling my family, all the family gatherings. Everybody know, Sherry come, the party gonna be over because she's gonna need a paramedic and she's gonna need it. And then one sister said, "Are you crazy or something?" Because it was so many paramedics called and so many, and I didn't want to keep carrying my family through. And at that time, I forgot all about the rapes and stuff. I had let everything go. I didn't know that what was hiding on the inside of me was killing me, slowly killing me from the inside. And I would wake up sometime and be stiff, and my mother would have to call the paramedic. Nobody knew what was wrong with me. Doctors knew me by name. When I would come in, they say, "Oh, that's Sherry, just sit her aside." They was used to it. And I would be out at night with my friends. I finally turned 18, 19, think I could go club, and I could be walking home, and that spirit told me, somebody coming to get you, they coming to get you, and I would run. Cars almost hit me.
Oh, my
It was
God.
deep. It was consuming me. And I got so tired that I didn't want to live no more. So I went and signed myself. I took the knife, put it to my chest, then I threw it. And I took my daughter to my mom, and I went to the nut house. And I signed myself into the nut house. And I said I was ready to kill myself, so I came here for help. And they said, "Okay." And they locked me. You know, they
Yeah.
you know, you get a little emotional sometimes. So they signed me in. So
Wow.
next day I got up and said, "Okay, I ain't ready to kill myself no more. I'm ready to go." And they wouldn't let me out.
Oh.
And I said, "I'm grown, you gonna let me out?"
Wow.
And the doctor said, "No." He said, "Because you threatened to kill yourself, that would have been suicide. We cannot let you out." And he said, "And I'm not letting you out unless you tell me what went on." And I said, "I ain't got nothing to tell you." And so we went back and forth for a week. I would not tell him. So because I wouldn't tell it,
Yeah.
he decided, well, I'm not letting you out until you talk, because he felt like he was on to something.
Okay.
And so I couldn't do nothing about it. He wouldn't let me have a phone call, wouldn't let me out. And I said, I got to get on with my kid. And he still wouldn't let me out. So he said, when you're ready to talk, he would come every other hour and see if I'm ready. So one day he came, and I said, "I'm ready." And he began to talk. But when he got on rape, I went off on him. And he knew he was on to something.
Something, yeah.
And so finally, I went on and told him everything. He cried as I talked. He cried, I cried. And he said, "Is you ready for all your hospital visits to be over?" And I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "You ready to be healed?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "It's real simple." He said, "I want you to go home." He said, "You ain't got to tell your friends and your cousins. Get your whole entire family, your mother, your father, and your sisters and your brother, and tell them what happened to you when you were 16. Tell them the truth."
Yeah.
I went home, I told them the truth, and I have not been to a doctor since then.
Wow.
And that was over 30-some years ago.
So the devil really wanted to kill you out of that.
Yes.
Out of that. Wow,
Yes.
we thank God for deliverance. We thank
Yes.
God. But you see, you mentioned it, and even as you are talking, I could sense right here that is you have to get to a point that you have to let go.
Yes.
You have to forgive.
Yes.
You have to forgive yourself. You have to forgive the one who did the rape and everything. You have to forgive whatever has happened, okay? So it started with you really letting it go?
Well, I didn't let it go into this year because it was about, we've been here 8 years, so I
Yeah.
could say it was about 15 years ago. I had, and it might have been almost close to 17 years ago. I got married 20 years ago, so about 17 years ago. I had a salon in a mall, and a guy bumped into me, and I've been trying to get this book out for almost 25 years, and a guy bumped into me, and he said, "Excuse me, you're a good-looking woman." He said, "Why do I have a feeling I know you?" I said, I'm writing a book about you."
Wow.
He said, "Why would you be writing a book about me?" I said, "Ask yourself, why would a 16-year-old be writing a book about you?" I said, I told them to get everybody out, and for some reason, my kids and everybody was there at the salon. I told them, tell all the workers to come out. I had 12 of them. And I said, y'all remember the story I told y'all that whenever I run into the guy who raped me and kidnapped me, if he didn't know who I was, that I was going to kill him? They said, yeah. I said, well, here you go. And I told them, if you don't remember me, I'm going to still stick to what I said I was going to do. And so I wasn't healed because I still wanted to kill.
Oh, wow.
I was saved, but I wasn't healed. I thought I was healed. It took me to bump into him to know that I still had some parts of me
Something
that
in there.
wanted to still,
Do that.
And he walked backwards, but he remembered me. I was able to tell him everything that happened in his life. I said, your mom died, you didn't go to the funeral, you married a woman, you cut a hole in the door, and you fed her food under the door. You have a daughter that ran away. You suffering with high blood pressure. He said, how do you know all the? I said, I followed you because I wanted you gone, but I didn't want to let you die just by shooting you. I said, and then, but he started saying he remembered. And because he remembered, I let him out there. And then every day, I found him nowhere. Wherever I go in my life, whether my kids with me, they say, Mama, a man's staring. I look up, it's him, and he'll run. And then I couldn't understand. And I got so angry again. And I got so angry with God that he running around selling corned beef sandwiches. And I'm sitting there fighting for my life to get my mind back to, to graduate and stuff. And I was so angry. But it was just this past year. Actually, it could have been the beginning of this year.
Yeah.
I was sitting down one day, and I said, God, why all the stuff you promised me that I would travel the world and everything, why ain't none of this stuff happening? And God said, because it's something you just won't do. And I said, okay, God, I surrender. I forgive him. And I forgave him this year. It was this year. Exactly. This year, the beginning of this year, I told God I forgive him. And I'm telling you, right after I told God I forgave him, I got a call from a lady at Big Miller Groves. I'll be preaching there on the 15th.
Yeah.
God began to start opening doors. Then
you.
people started booking me for talking. It just seemed like as soon as I told God, I said, Lord, I'm for real this time. I surrender. I forgive. I'm going to forgive. Because I don't want my past to paralyze my future. And I don't want it to stop me no more. And I'm willing to give it up now. I got to give this here up in order to be whole, in order to be the woman of God you're calling me to. I said, you calling me to nations, and I have to give it all up. And I got to give this up. I forgive. I said, Lord, save his soul. I forgive. And I even got as far as saying, I know so much about him. I know where he lives. I said, one day, I said, but God, what I am going to do, I'm going to mail one of my books to him.
Yeah, but woman of God, how long? Because, sometimes when we're talking about these things, people think that it takes maybe 2 days, for something that was done to you that is really life-threatening. I call those moments life-threatening. Okay, I've never experienced any rape. I've never experienced all those things growing up. But there are things like that. Really, it's like part of you were taken from you. Part of you was gone. Okay? So how long did it really take you? You are talking about when you were, 16 to 57? Because you're going to be 58 this year. So that's how long it has really taken you for you to finally surrender and say, God, I'm done. Please, I'm letting it go.
Yes, because when I let it go, but I didn't let it go. You know how you let it go,
But it's
you
still
sit
hanging
alone
on there.
sometime and it come across your mind, because I wasn't just raped. You know,
Okay.
sometimes people talk about when they was raped, and sometimes I tell them my story so it can help them, because I feel like I'm one of the ones was brutally raped. I'm called a survivor. They wanted to even put me on that. On Survivor, because most women don't survive what I went to, because I was brutally raped. I wasn't just raped. You have to read my book, and that's why God wouldn't let that book come out, because I kept trying to lie in it. You know, we don't like to admit, but you know when you're lying, when you ain't telling the real story and you ain't telling the whole story.
Yeah.
Because I figure when people read the book, they're gonna judge me, and then they ain't gonna, they gonna make it a, you know. And I felt like I didn't need to be judged no more in my
Yeah.
life. I had been through enough. And then I thought about, I ain't gonna have no friends. Well, I had to think now, I really ain't got
Who
none
cares
now.
now?
And
You
I
have
said,
to.
so guess what? I put it all in the book. I said, Lord, I surrender. So that's another thing I had to do. I just stopped playing games with that book and surrender all information, because it's gonna help somebody. And I wouldn't surrender all the information. I was trying to make it cute. You know, I
Yeah.
wanted to make it cute, and God kept letting. I had made it so cute one time, God let the whole computer shut down, and I couldn't even get the book. It was
Wow.
gonna be ready to be printed, because God said all that cute stuff you put in there, you
That's
know that
nice.
ain't how it went. You gonna tell me, you know, could you imagine your first time with somebody having sex with you or raping you? They didn't just rape you, they didn't just have sex with you, but they did violate you in every area
Every
that could
area.
be violated.
Wow. Wow. Please continue to share the video with somebody. Tag somebody to come in. I wrote here that I really want to read to us, because I think it will help us. You know, when we're talking about forgiveness, that sometimes people don't really understand it, okay? But the forgiveness does not mean things don't come in mind, okay? You're going to remember what somebody did for you that really give you stomach ulcer or something like that, because it was so painful that you feel that something have gotten out of your life. Those moments, it will come in mind, okay? But for you to know that you have really forgiven is for you not to let the past and its issue control you, okay? If you want to know that you have really let go, it means that the past pain and the past issue that happened is not controlling your present circumstances now. Because as the woman of God said, it took years. This is about years of things. That it was just today, this year, that she finally surrendered to God and said, God, you know what? I'm letting it go. So all throughout her years that she thought she had been let go, it was still controlling her life. So God will not open some doors for her. Because if I have delivered you from issues like that, I want you to go and deliver others. So God will not open those doors for her, because she wasn't delivered yet. She wasn't 100% healed. Okay, so if you are watching me and you have been through such a terrible experience, for you to know that you have really let go, is those things are not controlling your life anymore. And if you still feel like they are controlling your life, please open up. Nobody is here to judge you. Nobody is here to condemn you. Who cares what other people think about your pain? Your pain is between you and God. Go to God sincerely and tell God to help you. Okay? Ask God to help you. And God will always give you trusted people around you. Maybe your pastors, maybe your woman of God, maybe somebody. Confide in somebody. Let them pray with you. Let them comfort you. Let them take you out. Sometimes it's just a lunch to just sit down and talk for a minute or something. It will relieve you. But seek help. Don't keep it inside you. Because you keep it inside you, it will kill you. It will kill you physically. It will kill you spiritually. It kills your ministry. It will kill your influence. You will not be able to do ministry if you are still holding on to your past pain. So I hope that has been a blessing to you. We will surely continue next week and look at still letting it go. Because I know that the emotional aspect of letting it go is another even level that we have to deal about. But woman of God, I want to ask you maybe another question before we conclude today's show. Okay. Sometimes people say that, you know, I know you have a past, I know the past is painful, but sometimes people say that, oh, don't take it personal. You know, as in your situation, okay, out of it came a purpose. Out of it have come a wonderful, you know, global move now conference that we are all enjoying once a while. I think I was there 2 years ago to have a conference with you. So out of it, we are all partaking, okay? But if they say don't take it personal, it's something else because it's you that happened to. How can't you not take it personal? Yeah, that's not what I'm saying.
You know, that's how people are. Don't take it personal.
Yeah.
Oh, don't take personal that you was kidnapped and raped out over 100 million and that you didn't know. Don't take it personal. That's not so. It's gonna be personal. This is personal.
Okay.
Hey man, it's personal.
Yeah. Okay.
And you know, I just said recently, I said when I heard about that trafficking going on, I take it so personal. I said, you know how they got them vans that chase storms? I said, I wish I had a truck that could chase traffickers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you don't take it personal because this is personal. You know what I mean? But when you can get to a place in your life to realize that this ain't personal with who did it to me.
Okay.
This is about the devil who tried to take it. The devil, he came to kill, steal, and destroy.
And destroy.
Because
That's
he
it.
knew what God birthed. What God birthed in me, he was trying to hide it from the nation. So
Oh
it's
my
personal,
God.
and it's still personal. Because
Okay.
I tell people, if anybody see that devil, see he used to be after me. Now I said, tell him I'm after him.
I am after him.
Take it personal.
I'm looking for him.
Yeah.
So you have to really take it personal,
Yes.
learn something out of it,
Yes.
trust God, something will come out of it.
Yes.
And I like how you have turned a life-threatening, a life-shame issue, a painful aspect, you know, of your life, and you have turned it to be a ministry. I mean, what else, you know, and when things like this happen, I love what God says, that all things. So sometimes the devil thinks he's smart. He gets us to go through some things. But at the end of it all, God turned it around. And it became a ministry. So our pain, our shame, our downfalls, and everything have now become a ministry that others are also benefiting out of it.
Right. And then you gotta give you the insight. I'm gonna tell you, majority of the time, unless I'm talking to somebody about it, it's like when God say, once he forgive you, he erase it, it don't even come to my mind. Most time it come to me, somebody asking me about it.
Wow.
Because God will erase it. If you want to be free, you can be free. I tell them, if you want to be, you're going to be. And if you're going to be, you want to be. I wanted to be free. And then not only that, I don't have no problem talking about it because I'm innocent.
It's not you now.
And when you can realize that you're the victim and God, if it was for me to be dead, I had died. He could have left me dead. But God brought me back for a reason.
For a reason.
And that reason was for purpose. It wasn't to hang out in the street. I tell you, there's a lot of cute little girls that got strangled. They didn't make it. But for some reason, God wanted me to make it. A lot of people, even when sometimes you hear me say the quote when I'm preaching, I might take a station identification moment and I say, I'm a bad man, you can't beat me being me. Some people don't even know what that means. What they don't know what I mean, I fought to get here.
Okay. Okay.
I prayed to get here.
Yeah.
I stayed up all night long. I couldn't sleep before I got saved. I couldn't sleep all night because I was afraid. So just because I got away from him, I didn't get away from him. I got away from him. But what had consumed me was still inside of me. So I would lay up, put my kids to sleep, and I'd lay up with lights on. They never knew why the lights was on all night long and looking through keyholes, thinking they was coming to get me. I still thought in my mind that the enemy was coming to get me. I heard voices. It was telling me, because look, you had so many people sleeping with you, all them different spirits. And then the bad thing, all these women, husbands that was sleeping with me. And, you know, I'm sure them wasn't all single men.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, my mind had to stay whole because I would call preachers at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. I called for help. I would call, even though I had a secret, nobody knew why they was helping me. I would call pastors and wake them up and say, the devil just told me I'm going to die. And they would pray with me. And when people would pray with me, I learned I could go to sleep and get rest. So they would
Oh.
pray in the middle of the night. So I saw help, but they just didn't know what they was praying about.
Praying about.
They just didn't know what they was praying about. But that made me a prayer warrior.
Oh, okay.
I stay up in the middle of the night. People ask me, why is my talk show so late? Because somebody labored with me in the middle of the night, and it freed me.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so, so much for watching Woman of Influence today. Oh, my God. I hope it has been a blessing. Dr. Sims is going to be back next week. We're going to go deep into this. And the whole of this month, we're going to be talking about this past issue, and we're trusting God that you will get something out of it. So next week, she's going to be here. The next, I think 3 weeks, we're going to do Who is a Woman of Influence, a birthday special on that weekend. Then I have somebody who is a family therapist, one of my pastor's friend who is a family therapist, who will also come and we will talk about how the emotional aspect and how to really heal from the emotional aspect and the mindset aspect and everything. So the show is going to be a blessing the whole of this month. You don't want to miss it. But please continue to share the show even as we finish. Continue to share it. Tag it with somebody, and I think it's going to be a blessing to them. So Dr. Sim, your last word today. What do you have to conclude
Well, I was
with
just
the show
thinking,
today? Yeah.
somebody question in there was like, do it come back or whatever.
Yes.
Another thing, it's just like, I don't know if you, who asked the question, if you ever been a smoker or ever been addicted to anything that God delivered you from. Well, I'm going to tell you, it's just simple. I used to be a smoker. I smoked cigarettes. And them things, I was addicted to them. And
Okay.
I finally got rid of the Newport and the Cool, the Cool cigarette and the Newport. Finally got rid of it and never picked it back up again at the age of 24.
Wow.
But I could tell you, a person, do that smell come? Yes.
Yes.
Do it come back? Yes. Do I want it? No.
No.
See,
Okay.
you got to be determined.
Yeah.
It could come. It's going to come. The mind going to come. The thoughts going to come. But that don't mean it's going to consume me. It can't consume me no more. It's no different from the cigarette I put down. I forgave it. I let it go. When you let something go, if you want to be, that's my theory with this. If you want to be, you're going to be. If you're going to be, you want to be. I want to be.
Yes.
So I'm going to be free. I'm going to stay free from it. And yes, the thoughts come, but guess what? I just go in prayer, pray them off. You can pray it off.
Okay, good. So thank you so much for watching us today. Thank you so much. Next week, we're going to look at how to replace the negative thoughts to positive actions. So it's going to be how to replace some of the things from our past to a very positive action. So thank you so much for joining me. Continue to share the video. This is your own Victoria Kwepi, a woman of influence. So continue to share the video with somebody. Tag somebody to come in. And I will see you again. Please follow, subscribe to our YouTube channel. So when you miss the show, you can go there and listen to the full show. We are on podcast now. So please, you can also listen to us on podcast. And thank you so much for joining us today. God bless you. Go out and be the wonderful man or woman of influence God have called you. And I'll see you back here same time next week, Tuesday at 12. God bless you. Have a wonderful day. Blessings. Bye-bye.